Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. I'm back for the Whale Called Moon. I'm back with a tea reading for you guys. This is channeling the Humpback Whale Collective. I decided today I wanted to do a reading because I notice, at least for myself, that whales pop up when I need comforting, when I'm burnt out, when I'm exhausted, when I need support, when I need to feel like there's somebody out there who cares. Whales pop up. And so I'm doing this reading because I think that, at least for me personally, it's nice to watch something that is going to have some comforting messages and that has this positive intention to be insightful, helpful, joyful, or peaceful, especially in the world today where there's a lot of unrest. And some of you may be suffering from burnout. Some of you may be feeling like, I don't know, just maybe despairing a little bit. Maybe you need something to pick you up. But this is where the intention is to do a reading to see what the messages that want to come through the whale, the humpback whale specifically, including the whale that I am connected to. Her name is Moon. Just in the intention of being super insightful and positive and helpful at this time. And so this is a timeless reading. I did lay out a whole bunch of charms here, as you can see. So it's a tea and charm reading, and I'm hoping that you'll get something out of it. If you do enjoy this content, please consider donating. The donate link is in the description box of all my long format content. And I'm still booking private readings, so if you'd like to book a reading, you're more than welcome to do that. You'll have to pre-order by sending a payment through for $100. It's 30 minutes by phone. And yeah, let's see what we get here. From the whales, what messages want to come through? Okay, so there's a couple of things. One is that for some of you, there's a strong message about looking at the past and examining the past. And some of you need to let bygones be bygones in order for you to move forward. That's what they're showing me. They're also showing me like something about the trees being cut down, like the stumps of the trees. Some of you may have a connection to the tree spirit. And some of you may need to get outside. One of the first things I saw was like this color green. Some of you may be healers. Some of you may have healing abilities. There needs to be like a refreshment to your energy. So make sure it's sort of like when a dog goes outside and rolls in the grass, or like when a horse finally feels safe, it lays down and rolls. And that's them really shaking off energies that are no longer serving them. And so you can pet a dog all you want, but the dog is going to go out and roll in the grass. And that is kind of like the equivalent of what you need to do. Like I'm seeing like a whale rolling. And I'm also seeing the dog rolling. I'm seeing horse. You might have a connection to the dog spirit, the horse spirit, as well as water or whales, or be interested in whales. But I'm seeing that specifically. So some of you need to shake off old energies, and or get out into nature, and or start to be, I want to say, cognizant of what's going on in your heart space, being in your heart space more. But I'm interested to see, like, what is the message about the trees being cut down? I'm seeing the issues around water. So like if you cut the trees down, then it doesn't hold, the roots don't hold back like the land. And so there's going to be issues with water in some regard. That's interesting. Some of you need to swim. or some of you need to get also like near a body of water, which is usually one of the messages that come through naturally when I'm channeling any of the water and water spirits. This issue about the past, though, that's interesting. Let me look at the charts here for a second to kind of get a little bit more. Can you give me a little bit more about what's going on from the past? So I'm seeing this piece here. Some of you just need to make peace with your past. You need to make peace with it. There also might be money coming from someone from your past, or someone like that maybe you haven't connected to in a while. I'm seeing that as well. This could be an ex-boyfriend, ex-friend, ex-best friend. There's money coming through. There's money coming through a person who you once loved. This could also be someone who's kind of like a player type person, or a person that you just weren't really on the same page with. Maybe you had different interests and you kind of went separate ways. I see that there's some connection to sports with this football charm. So some of you might, I want us to need to have more fun, and or you might meet someone new at like a sporting event or sports game. I also feel like for some of you, those of you who like are maybe reconnecting with someone from the past, there's a connection through sports. So maybe you went to like a game together, or you did something outside together. Maybe you went to the movies, because this typically means like someone spending too much time on their flat screen, like in front of a screen. You guys need to watch how much time you're spending on your cell phones. Okay, I shit you not here. Like, this is important. That's one of the messages that's coming through here. What else? One of the messages is interesting. We have this stay groovy. It's like a pin. That it has this bus on it, and it's really interesting. It reminds me of that Kenny Chesney, basically of Kenny Chesney, because he did something. He painted this bus, and he did a whole bunch of music. There was a music video of it, and just during that period of time, he did some really beautiful music videos, and also just music. And every time I think of Kenny Chesney, I think that everything's going to be all right. Like, he's super comforting to me. It's a sign. Like, if I turn on the radio, like I get into my car and I turn the radio on and Kenny Chesney comes on, I'm like, it's going to be a good ride. It's going to be a good day. I'm going to have a good time, whatever it is. Some of you need to, I'm hearing, embrace your wildness, embrace your creativity. Maybe do some painting or drawing if you have any artistic interests or hobbies. As a hobby, they say art is therapy, and art can be therapeutic for many people going through kind of like a rough time. But it's also a message about being positive and staying positive. Some of you, I'm seeing this feather here, and to me that's sort of like words of affirmation, words of positivity. You need actually to do more affirmations. I'm seeing like more like maybe scripting where you write down, I am so very blessed because of da da da. So like maybe start doing more with your gratitude notes, start doing more manifestation, more affirmations. There's this YouTuber, his name is David Childerley, who does a lot of really long videos, long format content that have positive affirmations. Such as, like, for example, like, money comes easy. I am very lucky. I always am successful. All those affirmations are really important for those of you just to keep a positive mind frame or keep a positive attitude. I'm noticing this ladybug here in this charm. This is a miracle charm. And the ladybug to me is a very transformative insect. it has to go through so much to turn into a ladybug. I'm not sure if you've ever like watched the life cycle of a ladybug, but it's intense. It's like many, many transformations. So like for some of you, you're going to be rewarded through after going through something challenging. You might have felt like this time period has been challenging for some of you, but you're going to be rewarded for whatever work that you're putting in, any efforts that you're making. Anything that you're transforming will be very blessed. I'm also seeing, so for example, you're redoing your home, you're going to be very blessed from the renovations that you're doing or the changes you're making. Any personal changes, so like let's say with your physical appearance, say you're looking to lose weight, or maybe change your hairstyle, or do just something different with your makeup, you're going to be rewarded for your efforts. So say like you're really focused on losing that weight, you're going to lose weight, you're going to see the blessings of like how that transforms your health and your vitality. I feel like when you lose weight, for many of you, you will gain vitality. I'm also seeing, okay, so there was this other charm here, which is about miracles. This is the half a star, sliver of a star, which indicates something miraculous coming through. And it's so small, it might seem insignificant, but like, it's sort of like, I always say there's more weight in 1% chance of you succeeding than if you had if it was like a 99% like chance of you succeeding. Okay. That 1%, that sliver of a star, that tiny little, 1 in a million tickets that you get, that is when, a miracle can occur. And the fact that we have the miracle, two charms about miracles here very close together, means that there's going to be something that comes through for you that potentially the odds are against you. Potentially there's no way for you to win. Potentially there's no way that you ever would consider you actually getting it, or actually winning, or actually something coming through of that nature, of that magnitude. It could be a small win. It could be a small victory, or it could be very major, okay? Because we have the sliver of a star, which is a small charm, but then we also have this one too. And it could be more than one. Like, people limit themselves in their thinking and thinking, okay, maybe this one thing will happen, this one positive thing, but then there's something else that happens after it. And it's sort of like a positive domino effect is what I'm seeing. For many of you, it's like one miracle after another. So don't limit yourself in thinking, it's not possible for you to have more than one blessing, or have more than one good day in a row. I feel like there's a shift towards really being in a place of I don't know how to describe this. Okay, if we put all this together, maybe of abundance, but to me this is divine flow here, divine guidance, prosperity. To me, it's a time of prosperity, but it's also having a strong connection to God or spirit, and knowing that you're very blessed, being very, very blessed. It's having more than one good thing happen. And I used to say that it's asking a lot of God to gift us, a beautiful family, and a beautiful partner, and amazing friends, and the wedding of our dreams. And, add on top of it something, a new car. And for some of you, it would be, a dream home. And on top of that, there's a swimming pool. And on top of that, there's money to spend on other people, and to have beautiful dinners, and to go on beautiful vacations and travel. So it's sort of like all of those pieces. Like, if I'm looking at this, there's a lot of components here. This would be a marriage to a person who you had a lot of components with, where things lined up, you were very much in alignment, you had great chemistry, you had strong intellectual communication or connection, you had feelings for each other, you really loved each other. So, and I think also it's not even just about a partnership, it's about being blessed many times over with more than what you're expecting. So it's not going to be just like, you meet somebody and you have all these components. It's your life has multiple components and you are blessed with multiple things. That's how I see it. For those of you who don't like necessarily vibe, that might not have happened yet. Okay, so you gotta chill out on like when's it gonna happen and all that stuff, because some of you might be in a place of wanting all of those things and like not even knowing like how it's gonna happen or when it's going to happen, and you need to take heart because things happen in their own time. What else? Let's see. Huh. There is an issue, a very interesting issue about time here. Okay, so this is going to sound interesting. One of the messages from the Humpback Whale Collective is some of you're going to have an interesting experience with time itself. And the only way to explain this is I've experienced this a couple of times, but it doesn't happen that much. I had this one time where I had this really funny feeling, and I saw the trees like wave in the wind a certain way, and I was like, time feels funny. And then I was like, I wonder if there's a hummingbird. And then a few minutes later, a hummingbird appeared. And that was when I knew that time was kind of itself was sort of indicating something. And you might have moments where time slows down. Like if you meet somebody new or if you talk to somebody, there might be moments where you feel time really slows down and you notice it. I had another interesting experience where I think of it as like Wayne Gretzky, where I was sitting waiting to go into this room for something, and like there was a person that came in that I did not want to see, and I could see a few steps ahead like how it was going to play out. And the way it played out is like the last second, someone went ahead of me, which wasn't expecting, but that made it possible for me to avoid this other person who I didn't want to see. And it was like my guides could see it so clearly. It was like they were putting these pieces together. And suddenly I saw time differently. I saw it like a few steps ahead. Some of you might have very interesting dreams or visions at this time. You might be able to see how things are going to play out ahead of time. Time itself is going to be moving differently for you for whatever reason, and in your favor is what I'm being shown. In your favor. What else from the whales here? Some of you feel, okay, that like all hope is lost when it comes to a relationship. For some of you, could be the father of your child if you have like you're a single parent. For some of you, this could just be like a feeling of hopelessness or despair around maybe dating or love life where you have like short-term relationships but they don't go anywhere. What does the Whale Collective have to say about that? I'm seeing an interesting thing about religion and the church. Some of you might have, and to me it has to do with belief systems. Some of you might have very strong beliefs about getting married early on in relationships or getting married at all. Like some of you may be over focused on getting married, or like marriage is like a very laser focus. And my guides and what's coming through in the tea is showing me they're showing me two things. One, for those of you who are like hyper laser focused on getting married, I usually tell people who have this issue to really work on finding somebody who you really love, spending quality time focusing on the relationship itself, rather than focusing on the end goal. which would be marriage. For some of you, though, you need to go to places where you share common interests. So, like, for example, if you are, very church oriented or religious in some regards, you will need to go spend time in a church or go to church, like meetups or activities, events. I'm just seeing like more like things where you're going to have people where you meet people that have your same beliefs, who share things in common with you. So for example, if you're an artist, you're going to want to go to like more gallery openings. If you're more religious, you're going to want to go to more church events and like dinners and spend time at other people's homes, that maybe join a different Bible study than you normally would. For some of you, those of you who are really into exercise and fitness, this is maybe joining a new gym or, hiring starting like personal training for some of you and doing things like with people in that sphere that you maybe share those interests and hobbies with. That way, you meet people who have a like mind, and I think that's what's missing. I think the two components, but in general, I say that people don't call me when they are in a healthy relationship. They don't ask when is it going to happen, because it's going to happen naturally. So for some of you, you need to let things happen naturally. But I also see like there's this element of needing to do events and things which bring you closer to like-minded people. But Patty Stanger does say you can meet somebody like on the side of the street and like at any time. It doesn't have to be through an event. It doesn't have to be at a bar. It doesn't have to be anywhere. You can meet somebody at any point in time. What else? I do see money coming that's going to give you some wings because it's right near this butterfly. It has a lightness to it. So it might, those of you who are kind of maybe more exhausted or suffering from maybe some burnout, you'll have some lightness with that. I have to let you guys go here, but any last messages that want to come through from the Humpback Whale Collective? We have this: good things are going to happen. Charm, which, is endearing because there are people who have a strong belief that good things are going to happen. But I also want to tell you to be grateful and to count your blessings. Okay. That's the message from the Whale Collective. Count all of your blessings, write out all of the things that you have, and be grateful for all of those things. But also, good things are and will happen. And with a strong belief that those things are going to happen, then that will attract that in. I truly believe that. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you guys so much. I wish you guys all the best. I send everyone big hugs, big kisses. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye, guys.